Bears got the best of me. I said, bears on my fantasy. I said, bears ain't what I like. We do it all night, all right. Bears that don't discriminate. I take a carbon chop to circumnavigate. Steal my heart and let it percolate all night, all right. Bears got the best of me. I said, bears on my fantasy. I said, bears ain't what I like. We do it all night, all right. Bears.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. It's time for another Bears of a Certain Age. I'm your host, Scott, as always, with my buddy Jonny. Jonny, how we doing over there in beautiful downtown Spokane?
I know, I'm doing great. And it is, the one thing I like about this time of year is I can wear sweatshirts again. I do like a good sweatshirt. It
looks very comfortable. I love being warm.
I do too, and I get to have pride in my city, Spokane, proud of them, and also Spokane Pride. This is from when I got to MC that festival last year. I love our Spokane Pride. So yay!
Nice. Look very comfortable. I'm still pretending it's summer, even though it went to 40 degrees last week.
Right.
So I wasn't really happy with that, but I bought enough apples and cinnamon spice and stuff to have some nice cider, so I'm doing good.
Do you guys have pumpkin donuts?
We do have pumpkin donuts.
See, I also enjoy that part of this time of year. So,
and you guys have the fancy donut places going up all over town now?
I don't know if we have fancy donut places. I mean, we already had some, but none of, like, Portland has a lot of them. But
it started here with fancy cookies a couple years back.
We have that.
And now we have fancy donut places. And it's like $6 a donut, $6 a cookie.
Thank you.
They make them fresh for you, but they're like individual, and they put all this stuff on them and everything. Yeah. It's like, just give me a damn pumpkin donut or a Boston cream. I'm a happy camper.
I love it. We have a place in town that does pumpkin waffles, and the line for them, and they make them for you, but they don't cost you a fortune either. And the line to get those pumpkin waffles every fall is just crazy, and I'm here for it. I'm not a pumpkin spice dude, but I'll eat a pumpkin muffin or anything like that. Any carbs that has pumpkin in it,
right.
I'm in.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I can do pumpkin spice food. I'm not a big pumpkin spice drink person. I like cider instead.
Yeah.
We have a place out by us called White House Fruit Farms. Where they grow all the different seasonal fruits and vegetables. So it's apple season just kind of finished up, and they have cider there and everything. So yeah, and they do blueberry donut. They're famous for their blueberry donuts. So
I would love a good blueberry donut. Yeah. See, I'm a bear, so I have to put on weight during the winter.
Exactly, while we hibernate, right?
Exactly. So that's important.
Our Fat Bear Week lasts for the entire month of November.
Thank you. What are you talking about? For the entire season of winter. That's the whole time.
There you go. This is true. Hey, I wanted to bring it up. I forgot to last week. We've been talking a couple episodes back for a couple episodes about what a bear is.
Yeah.
And we kind of saw that one article. We thought, well, we're not a bear. And then we kind of made up some of our own things, which I kind of agreed with.
Yeah.
Well, someone sent me this. My friend Eric in Palm Springs sent me this. And originally, supposedly bears were told to be by that guy that started Bear Magazine, right? Everyone said that he kind of turned the phrase bear. Well, it turns out the Advocate magazine did it about 12 years earlier.
They
had an entire article on the zoo that we've kind of talked about in the past.
Yeah.
But there are things in there that are us to a T that I didn't even know existed. There's owls that I think we're very close to. There's pussycats. There's all these great things.
I'm a pussycat doll because I love them. But what is an owl?
It's kind of been said that it was kind of claimed in '87 by the guy that started Bear World magazine, Richard Bulger. So that was kind of like the what everyone thought, but it was actually done in the Advocate back in 1979. It's called Who's Who at the Zoo. It was from the 1979 issue. It had all these great different animals Bears, of course, was there. An owl are older gay animals, a little sarcastic at times. They love everyone and everyone loves them. They're
Ah,
survivors of the fabulous ages. So it's like
I'm an
they've earned the stripes, but they never wear it with plaid. So I thought that was very cute
yep,
and
an
kind of
owl for sure.
described us.
Yeah.
Another one, there's Gwinnett Swans that didn't look like us at all. There's Peaks and Afghans that didn't look like us. What else was there? Um, Gazelles,
I don't have legs.
pussycats. I told you about off air. Pussycats. They say pussycats are deceptive since they have the bear look down pat, but where bears are somewhat shy, pussycats have a dry wit.
Oh,
Also, they're naturally rumpled, and they like to keep their shirts nicely tucked though, and they're a little persnickety. So I
oh,
could be a little bit of that.
a
So
little bit of that is there, but yeah, way more owl. Way more
So
owl.
yeah, so some of these were kind of fun. I saw the article and I thought I had to look that up. I'll email the article over to you
Also,
another time, but
oh, I
they
love
are a lot more closer than what either the first article was or what we came up
right.
with on our own. I think they're
Also,
cute,
it feels like those personality tests that they always make you do at different corporations.
right?
This is a better personality test. Like now, I'm going to be a proud owl. I'm a bear owl. I love it.
There you go.
Yes.
A bear with an owl rising,
Yes,
hooting.
exactly.
Hey, I put out a couple weeks ago on our social up on Instagram that the Out 100 was out a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
got it.
I think mid-November is when the TV show will talk about it.
Yeah,
If you don't get Out Magazine, which it's a great magazine to subscribe to, but it'll be
yeah.
on TV. Probably just check your local listings right around November 25th, I think. But there are some great bears that made that list.
Right?
Um, Jordan Firstman, I had heard about him. Remember, we had Sam Irvin on,
Yep.
one of our first guests, right?
Yeah.
And Sam said that Jordan was in this movie called Rotting in the Sun. He said it was his most erotic movie he's ever seen.
Yeah.
And so he's there. Sebastian Silva directs that. So Jordan Firstman's blowing up as he should, I think. So he was on there.
Right.
Johnny Ingram and Stephen Warren that executive produced the We're Here. That's
Yeah.
with the drag queens, Eureka O'Hara and Shangela and Bob the drag queen, of
Yeah.
course. Brent Miller, advertising guru with Procter and Gamble, great big bear of a guy, which I absolutely love. Paul Gauger, who's the travel gay, kind of does Britain's
Yeah.
tours in some over there. All sorts of people. Zach Heron, the race car driver, he kind of reached out to us and said, "Hi, we might have him on the show."
Yeah. Which is really nice. Yeah, I saw that.
Handsome, bearish guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Listen.
represented well. We were not quite on the 100 list this year,
Yes.
but
Yes.
we're close.
Also,
Come on,
I
man.
do want to hobnob with them because that's some. Listen, there's a future ex-husband waiting in there. I'm ready to get him.
A lot of our favorites. Joel Kim Boozler was on the list. I'm a huge foodie, as you know. Ronnie Wu, Chef Ronnie Wu was featured. A lot of great people. They really bring people that you kind of forget about throughout the year, right?
Yeah.
These are people from,
and hopefully it raises their
yeah,
level.
exactly.
So
I mean, they're not unknowns at all, but there is some people you just haven't heard about in a while. So that's always kind of fun to watch.
love it. It's my favorite time of year when that issue comes out for Out. I love seeing that. But I will say it's even more fun if you can have the magazine and watch the TV show. Just it's fun. It's a great time for us to celebrate us. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, we talked last week. Palm Springs Pride was this past weekend. I hear it was a huge success. The weather was nice for it. So that, of course, when's the weather not nice in Palm Springs? 80% of the year at least.
Yeah. I don't love the days when it's 10 o'clock at night and it's still 110 degrees. I don't love that. But it does get nice right around this time of year. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
Now we talk about that as one of our big travel. What's another travel destination to get away from it all in the winter for you? Where would you like to go?
There's a place in Arkansas, and people are gonna think this is weird, called Eureka Springs. And it is one of my favorite places on earth. There's a glass cathedral in the middle of a mountain. I mean, there's lots of fun things. I stayed at a haunted hotel. So as long as the place I'm going to is quirky and fun, I don't necessarily mind if it's cold.
Right.
Because it's and a vacation, I don't have to deal with it. I'm not going to be driving. Somebody else can drive me. So I love that. But if we're looking for, more in the nice weather type wise, I'm always in California that way. I don't want to go anywhere near Texas. You can't pay me to go to Florida. So I love Southern California. I just love it. Going down to...
Have you been to Puerto Vallarta? Do you go to Puerto Vallarta ever?
It's my dream. No, I've only gone to Canada. I've been landlocked.
I've done Cancun. I've been to, living in Southern California, I've been to Jalisco and just over the border, a couple places and everything. Yeah. I've not been to Puerto Vallarta, but that is just the gay mecca in the wintertime.
Oh, lately.
A lot of people spend Christmas time there. A lot of musicians go down there. Spencer Day lives there now. Brandon and James, who I absolutely love, they go down there every Christmas. Levi Christ, who we talked about last week, buddy of mine, he's going down there in February.
We got to do something right, because I need that in my life.
I would love to go down there. I mean, it would just be nice.
I do enjoy
I would never go to Canada in the winter, but Puerto Vallarta sounds like a dream.
Oh my God, yeah. And I do love that in Mexico, you'll have a lot of these artists you were just saying who will do residencies down there. So like for a whole season, they live there and they perform. And I'm like, I want that. That sounds amazing. So yeah. Effie Passero is she's an amazing ally. Just an amazing voice on her. And she's been there for over a year as being a resident vocalist. And I'm like, come on, girl, invite her.
I love that. She's been touring forever this year. I mean, she has lived on the now.
So proud of her. Yeah.
She's been playing with, oh God, what's her name? I just saw them. I saw her in Akron over the summer. Jukebox. No, what's her name?
I don't know.
I don't know. She's playing with a very popular group that I can't think of right now, which I'm very upset.
I know what you're talking about. The jukebox that takes all the new songs and makes them old. That one.
I'll think of it. I don't know.
This is what happens when we hit a certain age, people.
Exactly. I'll Google it before the show's episode. I just saw them in Akron. I can't remember their name, but she's been touring with them a lot. She's done some great stuff, of course, back in her Idol days. I mean, there was some controversy about her Idol that I heard when I had Ada Vox on the show.
Yeah.
She said there was controversy around her elimination that I didn't get to hear the.
I'm sure there was.
She was so good. I was surprised she didn't make it.
Yeah.
To the final 10.
I think if RuPaul's Drag Race has taught us nothing, it's that everything is rigged. No matter what competition show you're on, it's rigged. The producers have the storyline they're pushing, so there you go.
Now, have you been watching the Queen, Kelly Clarkson, since she's been in New York?
I love her. I follow her on TikTok and watch everything I can, so I'm not sure if I've seen the New York stuff or not, but
she just started her show last week. It's from New York this season. She moved from LA to New York, brought the whole family there. She's doing her show in Rockefeller Center.
Wow.
So she's getting all the big New York names now. Looks freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what she did during the summer, but she was the Pilates girl, or she just sweated off at the beach somewhere.
Listen, it's the revenge body.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's the revenge body. Like, fuck the ex-husband. This is what you get. She's amazing. Also, did you see she just did... Alanis Morissette was just on her show. And she sings with all her guests. It's freaking amazing. To hear You Ought to Know with those two ladies, oh my God, it was brilliant. It made my 90s little heart just skip a beat.
It's a fan. I'm just such a big fan of hers. She started the season, her very first episode of the season had Billy Porter on it, and I love Billy Porter. I'm such a huge fan of his. And
I just wish I could dress like Billy Porter. My God. Yeah. He's a fat.
If I could carry that off, I would do that. That's amazing. But she's added a show on my birthday, December 30th in Las Vegas.
It's a sign.
So I'm trying to find connections that'll get me there.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Kelly Clarkson on my birthday. So I'm putting it out into the universe there.
Yeah. What was fun about LA is because she had her show there and then she was doing The Voice, she would
Right.
randomly do concerts. Randomly.
Yeah, exactly.
You could just go see her at one of the studios and watch. And I loved that she would do that all the time. Like, so you could just randomly see Kelly Clarkson because you were in the area. I hope she does that in New York because she's just so good. She's my queen. And I wonder, because does Drew does her show in New York, doesn't she? Drew Barrymore?
I'm not sure. I thought she was LA, but she could be New York.
Well, listen, I'm still mad at Drew. So Kelly can take it all. I think that's perfect.
She is the queen, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel sorry for Drew. I've always liked Drew in the past, but she
made a big faux pas.
Stepped in it. She stepped in it hard.
Yep, and she didn't. The apology wasn't enough. Sorry, girl, not enough. So, especially now that we're still at the freaking table. Hopefully, by the time this show comes out, we're done.
But, yeah, I'm hoping. We're recording this about a week and a half advance. They're at the table again. I know the actors were looking over the last offer that the producers and AMTP
yeah. And I love watching Fran Drescher give the updates. I'm like, because that woman scares me. She ain't messing around. I'm like, that's who you want to be leading your, because she's all about it, and I love it. Yeah.
She's got such an amazing story. I mean, married a gay man, and
then became business partners, then produced some of the biggest hits in television with her gay ex-husband. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Amazing story.
Yeah, love it.
I think they've had. I'm very impressed with the Actors Guild. Lou Grant, what's his face? Ed Asner was amazing at it. Laura Ingalls, I thought, was amazing at it, what's her real name?
Melissa Gilbert.
Melissa Gilbert.
Yeah.
I know their characters' name. So sad I know their character names.
Laura Ingalls, Wilder. She was
exactly. Laura Ingalls was the head of the
and I love Melissa Gilbert. And she did a great job too when she was the president. So yeah, they have done good putting people in place who are tough and not just, actors on television that know what they're doing. I mean, they know their business shit. So
I'm hoping it gets back soon. I have so many great guests I'd love to have on that just can't talk about anything. So
I know it hurts. That's why I always have to find the ones, you're doing a play? Okay, we're good, because Broadway has already got their contracts taken care of.
Right. Or they're doing a lot of independent projects all over Timbuktu and back.
Exactly.
One of my regular guests who I absolutely love does a lot of Halloween movies. I was trying to get him on during spooky season. Yeah. And I emailed him and he didn't email me back. And I was all upset. And so I reached out on social and said, why have you emailed me back yet? He says, I'm filming in Indonesia right now. It's like, well, whoops, sorry about that. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, the indies, it's nice to have the indies. Yeah, for sure. Plus, you don't want it. Listen, I can tell you, I have worked with many an actor as a director, and you don't want actors getting bored. You do not want that. So keep them working. So
I don't know if you're a reality fan or not, but I've fallen back in love with The Amazing Race because I had the fiancés on from there.
Yeah.
These guys are so cute. And so I've been talking to some of the different casts and everything from them. They kind of social media part of me now since I talked to these two boys.
Yeah.
What reality show would you go on if you had to go on a reality show?
I'd probably be on Golden Oldies, but I hate that show so much. Oh God.
Would you like to do a music show, a dancing show?
Not dancing.
A cooking show, a craft show?
I would probably do a music show. If I did Dancing with the Stars, that's how I end up in the hospital and then I die. But I would do a music show for sure. Yeah. So I would do that. Or
I would love to do a foodie show. I would die on a survival show. I would never make.
Oh my God, no! Plus, they have to eat things I don't want to eat.
Right.
I'm too much of a diva. I'm not going to do that. So, but yeah, you should do a foodie show. That would be perfect.
I would love to do a foodie show. They're so much fun.
Right. I have to say, I try not to like the show Glow Up, which is on Netflix, and it's a MUA makeup artist. But this last season was amazing. And the last 3 people who were there, one of them is a queer artist. His name is Axel. It was a great show.
I haven't heard about that. So it's just regular makeup, like glamour makeup? What is
it's like if you want to be, they call them MUAs, if you want to be a makeup artist in the industry, it's trying to find the best one. So like they worked on Bridgerton this year, and so they do these different things. And it was crazy. And they, you have to teach a master's class at one of the big fancy places in London, because it's an English show. But I'm just enthralled. And Axel is one of the most charming, sweet guys. And so it was nice to see him get up to the top 3. And it was a good show. Like I said, I want to hate that show, but I just can't. If you've ever watched Katya and Trixie, they love it, because the main judge on there always, if you do really good, she says, ding dong. That's her big, it's like Paul Hollywood's handshake. You want her to say ding dong. And so if you watch that show, you've heard that before. That's the show it comes from. And I try not to like it, but I loved it this season. 3rd season. Such a great season. So if you have Netflix, check it out.
I love reality shows. I could not get into Survivor this season. I got into Amazing Race with the boys, and I'm liking that a lot. I couldn't get into Halloween. Usually I'm into the Halloween and the spring baking champions, those kind of baking things. I couldn't get into that this year either. But
I tend to like those as well. But I haven't found one. And who's the guy that does the Halloween baking shows? The host.
That Jonathan Bennett?
Yeah, Jonathan Bennett. I love him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that show he gives credit to meeting his husband. And I think that's so great. Yeah.
Yeah, they just had their, 10-year anniversary of knowing each other.
Right.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
They're such a great couple. They really, I don't think he made himself look the best. What was that West Hollywood reality show that was so bad?
Don't even get me started. That was the worst.
I don't know why
he gave us all a bad name.
Yeah, I don't know why he went on that. But James,
because the producers will sell it to you. You don't know. It could have been sold as a completely different show.
That's true.
So I always think about that, because people, let's remember, LA is a land of illusion. So
they live out in Palm Springs now. I think James and Jonathan live in Palm Springs now.
Really? Okay, I'm moving.
Yeah, full time.
Moving there. I'm moving next door. I probably couldn't afford it, so I'll be sleeping in the yard. But I'll be
exactly. What else do we have to talk about? I'm running out of things. What
there
can we
were
talk
lots.
about?
So you sent me notes on some things that we were going to talk about, and one of them, because we're gay and we must. Here's the thing: none of us want to be political. If we, a lot of us want to just enjoy. But the fact is, politics affects us, especially now. And so you were talking about the new speaker, who has proven time and again over his tenure in politics that he wants us to disappear. He has supported many. Did you read that he supported making it illegal to be gay? He wanted that to go through. So, we got to know these things. The people that are up there supposedly representing us, not representing.
I think the Human Rights Commission voted him as like the most anti-LGBTQ House Speaker ever in the House Speakership. Yeah, and he was a lawyer at one time working for a religious group, one of those religious hate groups and everything. They created a truth day to counterdo Day of Silence, to kind of say that we were telling the truth about
one of the most sacred days. It's one of the most sacred days for college students to celebrate the Day of Silence. I marched it in my day. And so it's just gross that they can't let you have anything. So now we're going to create, this. He believes in conversion therapy and has actively fought to not have those. We're lucky. A lot of different states have said it's not legal anymore to allow conversion therapy. Well, he ain't one of them. He wants, So it's gross. And here's the thing. Yes, politics leaves a bad taste in our mouth a lot of the time, but we can't put our fingers on our ears and close our eyes and hope that it gets better. That's not how it works. So every now and then you have to be like, you know what? This is the shitty stuff that's going. I encourage you to watch Under the Desk News. I really enjoy her way of delivering horribleness that we have to hear. But yeah, we still have to be aware. Vote. It's voting season. So make sure you get out and vote. Because otherwise, more people like that end up at the height of our political,
Yeah, I mean, we kind of
structure.
talked to each other and we decided we weren't going to be very political, but there's some things that are just do a tectonic shift, right?
Yeah.
And a new Speaker of the House of Representatives that is very conservative, very anti-LGBT, very anti-abortion, very anti-gun legislation, anything like that. I don't know what you guys have in Washington as far as issues, because we do have elections in like 3 weeks. Abortion is big here, and pot is big here. That's our two big things we're doing.
Interesting.
To put abortion into the Constitution, and of course, the people against it are lying left, right, and center that it's going to help minors do sex change without parents' permission.
Well, that's how you make sure you get your way, as you fearmonger. You go out there and you tell half truths and get people scared, and then because we do not, as citizens, do our homework, we just listen to sound bites and say that works. And we can't do that. I will say we're lucky in Washington. Most of our politics on a state level are run by the west side of the state, which tends to be much more progressive. But we worry more in Spokane, in my opinion, with our local politics because we are not progressive. And that's why I tell everybody right now, go fucking vote. I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but please exercise your civil duty and vote. And I'm not going to say that I don't like our mayor, but I don't like our mayor. let's get her out.
Yeah, I really hope that this abortion marriage pass a yes on one,
right?
And then they're trying to legalize recreational marijuana, like so many states have done.
Yeah, we did that.
Obviously.
And I am all for it. Yeah.
It's a tax boon. It takes away a lot of the, I think, criminality of it. So it's
something that I don't think needs to be a Scheduled 1 drug offense because it's dumb. Also, I just have to admit, most people who are on pot don't have the energy or the focus to do anything horrible to anybody else. So,
right.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting. I will say the one thing I miss about California is that so we have legalized pot here in Washington, but in California, I can have it delivered to my house and we can have it, but we can't have it delivered in Washington. I'm like, come on, dude. I don't want to go down to the store. Just deliver it to me. Like the good old days of, pot dealers.
I didn't realize California could deliver just little Postmates, huh?
I love it. That's what it was like. I had an app. It was amazing. I love it. Love it. Love it. So, yeah, that's an interesting thing. What is the polls kind of leaning there for that?
Right now, it's split, but it's towards legalizing abortion. So it's like 55% is all, though. Not a lot, 55. And for pot, it's only like 52%.
Oh,
so
wow. You guys are right
close.
Well, did you hear about the study that came out just last week about abortion since the overturning of Roe v. Wade? And what it shows is, yes, because it's illegal, the states that say you can't do it, abortions have dropped. But if you look at the states around them where it is legal, the numbers have skyrocketed even higher than before. So let's be honest and talk about what the American public want. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was an interesting, I don't think it'll faze anybody who doesn't want it to happen. But someone was saying they found it interesting that when they went with their husband who was getting a vasectomy, no one was there making them watch a video. There was no waiting period to make sure he was emotionally okay. And I'm like, yeah, it's fucked up. Welcome to America. So.
Right. And I mean, we're bears of a certain age, but we all have to support other
Yes,
marginalized groups, right?
exactly.
So we say it doesn't affect us as gay men, but it does affect us because
Exactly.
they're a marginalized group. These women that are not allowed to do what they need to do with their bodies.
Yeah.
It's we have to support this. So
Yeah. I am always 100% in support of allowing humans to be to know more about their bodies than anybody else. You know what I mean?
right,
So I'm always, yeah, that's important. We just have to, we worry too much about details that have nothing to do with anything. And we make religious issues, and religion has no business being a part of politics. It's just, to me, it's a way to control the public. That's what it is. They just
right,
want control with these laws, and it's just gross.
yeah,
So
exactly.
now I'll get hate mail about that. Don't worry, I'm used to it. So
We'll take it. We have big shoulders. We can take the hate now.
exactly. Love it.
Well, and then another thing, we talked about it last week, and I want to talk about it every week until it happens. We got World AIDS Day happening
Yep.
in a couple of weeks on Friday, December 1st. I really want. I've known a lot of people that have gone through this epidemic, and so it affected my age group, right?
Yeah.
So I remember I was just turning 17 or so in the early 80s when it was starting to come up, and it's like it was a scary time for everyone. So I'd love to hear what theirs or anybody of a certain age that's
Yeah.
listening wants to share any kind of stories about that, because it's I think it's something that we have to remember our heritage. And
Do
that
you
was
re-
one of the first
do,
things that kind of
do you
activated.
remember when we had to wait 10 days for the doctor to call and tell us what our test results were? I've never been more anxious in my life than that. And honestly, they weren't legally allowed to tell you over the phone. So
Right.
you would have to make an appointment. And it was hell on earth. It was awful. Yeah.
It was so scary back then. I remember it's like I had to really like that person in the early 80s.
Isn't it weird to think back then and then to see where we are now with PrEP and all of that? And
Right.
yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. I mean, you and I
Yeah.
are both of the time when there were still people in the hospital and you had to discuss whether you were going to be able to go in and see them and if they were even going to allow you to see them. And it was,
Right.
we had no rights then. So we had no medical, we had nothing. And so I remember.
And sadly, those were the first gay films I ever saw, were things like Longtime Companion
The
and
most depressing
all these movies that were so depressing, talking
Poison
about
Band. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like there was no uplifting gay movies at the
No.
time to really be a part of the community. Everything was so sad.
So many people dying. Yeah, it was in those movies, and so many people dying, period. But I'm with you. We can't forget. You know what I mean?
Right.
We should be so excited for how times have changed, but do not forget. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I said. If people that will write in and talk to us about it, they've obviously survived to write in and talk to us about it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to hear the stories of survival through that.
Yep.
Because it's like I said, it's 40 years this year where it got a little, I think it's 41 since the first case was kind of actually said to be.
Well, there's a new documentary out about Patient Zero, talking about how he wasn't really Patient Zero. That was that was another political.
Was that the airline guy, the guy in the airline or whatever?
Yeah. And it was a political thing. How do we scare people? And I feel bad that guy got labeled like that. So yeah, there is currently a documentary out about that whole thing. So know your history so that you do not have to repeat it. That's how you do it.
Well, we're getting into the holiday season, which Jonny hates and I love. So we'll have some more updates on that because I have lots of stuff coming up on there. Yeah. What's happened with Queer Centric? Anything exciting since last week?
We are actually changing gears, which is a good thing. We have a lot of projects that we're working on. So you'll notice that we will release probably less frequent so that we can do some photo shoots. There's some music in the making. There's a video shoot. There's a ton of stuff coming out. And so we're very excited to kind of give. I got to the point where I was like, I love interviewing people and I want to do that, but I also want to make time to be creative and to bring forth what I did, years ago. And I'm excited for that. And as bears of a certain age, I think it's important that as we get older, that we don't forget the things that we used to love and we don't let that get buried. Have you ever heard of it was a course years ago, Julia Cameron did The Artist's Way. And it was this great way to get reconnected to your inner artist. And so what's so funny, I feel so old, but she has revamped it for people who are old. She has revamped it for me.
That was a Bible. I mean, I remember it back in the day. Yeah.
Right? As she says, for the second stage of life. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm still doing it. So I'm redoing this 12-week course. But it's important that we remember what brought us joy and we don't forget that. As we get older, we can let ourselves get buried in insecurities. And someone like me who is a cheerleader and wants people to feel their best, it's important that I do that for myself as well. So Queer Centric is going to be bigger than ever. And constantly working in our community. So it's just, you're going to have new fun stuff to,
I love that.
Yeah. So it should be
very, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, happy holidays to everyone. Thanksgiving's 2 weeks away. All sorts of things is happening now. It goes quick. These 2 months happen fast.
I will eat all of the yummy treats for the next holidays. That's going to be my joy.
We will have to have Bears of a Certain Age Christmas party and have a game night live on the air.
That would be so much fun. I would be down for that, yeah.
There you go. I'll cook and show everyone and eat.
It'd be perfect. I love it. Always something good.
All right, well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Bears of a Certain Age. Be sure to contact us, podcastbears@gmail.com. You can get a hold of us. Follow us on Instagram and Threads at Bears of a Certain Age. Jonny, love talking to you, my friend.
This is always fun. Everybody send us love letters. We would love to have them.
Exactly. All right, everyone, have a great day. Enjoy your Wednesday, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, guys, it's Scott from Bears of a Certain Age. Surplus is here, the new gay dating app exclusively for us mature men. Jonny and I are excited to have them as our premier community brand partner right here on Bears of a Certain Age. On the Surplus app, where older is always bolder, available now on both Apple and Android phones. We hope you'll join us where you can get the app so you can meet the man.
Bears got the best of me. Said bears on my fantasy. Said bears into what I like. We do it all night, all right. Bears that don't discriminate.